In my last video, I talked at length about autophagy. I looked into the science and concluded that there might be some advantage in doing a 48-hour fasting from time to time as I age. I have completed several 48-hour fasting in the last few months, so let's talk about my experiences.
Hi, this is Juan Sarmiento. We now know that autophagy and its benefits may decline as we age. However, we might activate it by fasting. As you know, I have been doing OMAD every day for years. But what would happen if I did a 48-hour fasting once a month? Are there additional benefits of a 48-hour fasting once a month over the daily OMAD? Perhaps OMAD every day is enough to induce autophagy. Perhaps the 48-hour fast is too hard and stressful to do it that often. In this video, I discuss my experiences so far. But before I do that, be sure to subscribe to this channel and give a like to this video. Don't forget to click on the bell to receive a notification of my videos to come. As we age, autophagy becomes harder and harder to activate. This is sad because autophagy may help us resist chronic degenerative diseases in our old age. So, accompany me in this personal long-term experiment. The goal is to find out if the 48-hour fast is worth it, or if the OMAD-HIIT combination is sufficient. I have already done 4 48-hour fasts. I'm now ready to tell you about my experiences. Recently, my wife had a common cold in early November. But despite our close contact 24/7, I was not infected. Although she does OMAD with me, she does not do HIIT. She does not do a 48-hour fast routinely either. This anecdotal evidence may suggest that either the HIIT and/or the 48-hour fasting have protected me against a viral infection. Although hardly definitive, this observation is encouraging. We already know that HIIT has many benefits. See my previous videos. However, the 48-hour fast may have contributed to further strengthening my immune system through autophagy. A more complex analysis, including the expression of autophagy genes, would be more definitive. I would certainly be willing to volunteer in a scientific study to examine my own autophagy, particularly after years in a daily OMAD-HIIT combination. Because I'm adapted to the OMAD routine, the 2-day fast felt only like skipping a meal, so to speak. At first, it was simply a continuation of my OMAD routine. At my mealtime on the first day, instead of eating, I had my regular vitamin and supplements as described in a previous video. Starting at 24 hours into my fasting, I began to feel stress, the urge to eat, and stomach butterflies. At this time, I took plenty of water and a cup of mineral salts. See the link below. Plenty of water and 1 or 2 cups of coffee seemed to help me with the urge to eat. I kept focused on my work, and the time seemed to pass relatively fast. By bedtime, I had no urge to eat anymore, and I had a good night's sleep. In the morning of the second day, after an early cup of coffee, I did my normal HIIT routine. I had a sense of euphoria in the early hours. This might be due to the secretion of BDNF, which affects mood and cognition during fasting and exercise. See my previous video about it. As usual, I went for a walk with my wife, and I had no lack of energy, even after the HIIT workout. Then I had my one meal, which I always have at 11 a.m. See my previous video. Breaking the fast felt especially good. The food tasted better than usual. My early experience with 48-hour fasting taught me not to eat more than my usual OMAD. Eating too much, as in my first experience with 48-hour fasting some years back, could cause stomach upset for several hours. Instead, eating the usual meal caused no ill effects. My meal is normally 18 to 2300 calories. The anabolic phase after eating was accompanied with a desire to nap, which I gladly took. After that, I felt euphoric and ready to continue my routines and work. Since the first time, I had had 3 other 48-hour fasts with similar experiences. My energy and exercise were not affected. Despite the stress and the feeling of hunger between 24 and 36 hours, I felt great and the food tasted better than usual. This 48-hour fasting is not a weight loss program. You may see the loss of a few pounds in your body weight, but you soon gain it back in the following days. The goal here is to keep the autophagy activated and perhaps to reduce the chance of infection, cancer, diabetes, and neurodegenerative disease as I age. I will report back in the future if I notice any ill effects or any obvious benefits, such as the apparent resistance to infection.
I won't say that a 48-hour fasting is easy. In fact, I don't think I would have tried it if I had not been adapted to the OMAD regimen. It remains to be seen whether there are benefits above the OMAD-HIIT combination, but only time will tell. So far, I can say that I'm aging with health and enthusiasm for life. The 48-hour fasting might contribute to keep my autophagy and BDNF at levels that may help me continue to say that life is looking up. Thank you.